What's up guys, it's Geeks Corner here. Today, in a bit of a surprise move by Apple, they've actually released the 7th generation iPod Touch. It remains quite similar to the previous generation as well. It's got an 8 megapixel rear camera, a 1.2 megapixel front facing selfie camera, and what's really interesting is it still has a home button as well, so no Face ID. Now previously the 6th generation had an A8 processor, so this one's now got an A10 Fusion processor, so it's the same as the iPhone 7 processor on them. And whereas the 6th generation came in as 16 gigabytes starting, the 7th generation now starts at a 32 gigabyte. It then offers 128 gigabytes and 256 gigabytes as well, so they've got a bigger size as well. Now all the measurements actually appears to be the same as well, but it also now includes group FaceTime and ARKit games and apps. Now this has been rumoured to be released quite a few number of times, and everybody actually thought it was going to be coming out when Apple released several products over the space of a week. There was lots of rumours the iPod Touch was coming out as well. So it's just under a week before Apple does WWDC, so it's interesting to see that they're getting this out of the way as well. And the fact that it's got ARKit games and apps as well also will obviously go to help when they release their new gaming arcade as well. So it's definitely good to see that Apple hasn't given up on the iPod Touch. Obviously it still has quite a few fans out there, and obviously it's gone for bigger sizes as well. Let me know what you think about this and if it's something you'll be looking at getting. Over the bank holiday we saw several different reports going out there, but one was really interesting and really stuck out to us is that Japanese blogger Mako Katara reported that the next iPhone revision will bring support for dual Bluetooth technology. So basically you'll be able to use your iPhone to connect to two sources at once, so that could be a car stereo whilst using your AirPods at the same time. It's going to be an interesting move. I'm not too sure why we'd find that useful. Obviously if it is true, Apple will have a reason and they'll try and obviously sell that to us, so it's definitely going to be an interesting move as well. Samsung Galaxies from the S8 onwards are supported Bluetooth dual audio, and so is the P20 Lite. But like I say, personally I can't really see a need for that myself, but it's definitely going to be interesting to see if Apple actually does go ahead, and I'm sure they're going to tell us why that we definitely need this in our lives. So yeah, that's definitely one of the rumours I found interesting over the weekend. Today the Washington Post has published an interesting article where it says roughly 5,400 apps in the App Store are actually sending personal data, including your location and your mobile number as well. Now they do talk about in length in the article that some of the apps include Microsoft OneDrive, Nike, Spotify, the Washington Post, IBM and the Weather Channel as well. One app, the Crime Alert Service Citizen, shared personal identifier information in violation of its published privacy policy as well. Now obviously there are a number of apps in there that do ask for your location, and obviously they do need that, but it's interesting to see so many apps actually sending that information out there as well. And it also says that when they test the iPhone, those unwanted trackers would have spewed out about 1.5 gigabytes of data over a span of a month, and that's half of an entire basic wireless service plan from AT&T. Now obviously Apple does tout privacy. Apple are not bulletproof, and we've seen a number of apps sneak into the App Store doing nefarious things. So it's going to be interesting to see how Apple responds to these claims from the Washington Post as well. Today, Samsung has announced two new USB-C PD controller chips to be used in their smartphones, laptops, tablets and much more. Now basically, to ensure safe fast charging, a device with a USB-C needs a controller chip to ensure that it doesn't pull too much power from the source of its charger. Otherwise obviously you can have some problems there. With the new chips now, the USB-C PD, it can pull speeds up to 100 watts of charging as well. So that's going to be interesting to see when they actually initiate those into their products. We should see a lot more faster charging for definite out there. Samsung Galaxy Fold is in the news again. Obviously, they were going to release them out, and then they came a major flaw on there that we saw several review units being actually damaged. So they recalled those, and then they put shipments on hold. And it looks like that they're definitely not going to be set to ship before July. New reports are out that says pre-orders are cancelled, obviously due to the hardware revisions, and now the pressure is mounting on Samsung to try and get them out of the door. They did have to start emailing out to customers to say that they weren't going to meet the deadline and give the people the choice then whether or not they wanted to proceed with the purchase or cancel. And back in the news again is Huawei. Now, interestingly, we see in JP Morgan estimate that Apple are actually going to suffer with the ongoing crisis that Huawei is facing, and they are actually expecting that iPhone sales will reach 27.8 million units for 2019, which is down from the 36.3 million in 2018. So that's less than half the 58.4 million units shipped in the market in 2015 as well. Now, they don't actually go into details of why they think Apple specifically will be the target and the ones to lose out here, but we've said it ourselves, obviously, if Huawei are going to continue to face a ban in the US, then China's going to retaliate and obviously make sales of products in their country a lot harder, and obviously source of material as well. But personally, I don't think it's just going to be the iPhone that's going to struggle. I think it's going to be Google as well that will actually suffer in there. So JP Morgan also says that Huawei has roughly between about 6 months of stock to carry on selling at the moment. They say between 6 and 12 months of stock, so it's interesting. But obviously, we've covered in an article as well that Huawei were actually anticipating some sort of ban on there, so they were trying to get as much back stock in there with components to continue and weather out this storm. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in this ongoing saga. And on a bit of a personal note, we've just done a couple of updates this weekend to our website, geekscholar.co.uk. We've refreshed our About Us section and just done some general behind the scenes work as well. And we haven't done any apps gone free over the holiday period. We just wanted a bit of time with our family, and I hope you guys in the US have had a nice time with your family as well. But things are going back to normal, so we should start to see some more of our articles pick up with apps obviously going free and some new apps reaching in as well. Make sure you check out our latest one about the calculator app for the Apple Watch. We put that out this morning, and it's always good to see more and more apps supporting the Apple Watch on there. But that's it for today, guys. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you on the next one.